I always am. Like I was saying, I always am a little tempted when I ask because I'm going to come do the podcast and they'll. No comedians listen to our podcast because who would do that?
Yeah.
But they'll be like, oh, do I need to know anything? Do I need to do any research? Do I need to like bring along a thing from my childhood?
Totally. Yeah.
And I always kind of want to like, oh yeah, you got to do.
Just to fuck with
them.
them.
Yeah, bring a whole bunch.
Yeah.
They come here with a fucking
PowerPoint. I spent 2 hours on
a Manila envelope full of CD-ROMs.
Childhood artifacts.
Yeah. I brought my Latrell Sprewell jersey. I need that, right? No,
dude.
Yeah, no. If I knew about your podcast, I would have worn pants. I would have worn pants if I knew what the setup is. They're just getting a gut shot right up the middle.
Down the barrel.
Yeah, right down the pipe. This is going to be your highest viewed podcast.
Absolutely.
That's dinner and a show right there. That's nice.
Well, I remember when our friend Allie Makovsky was on the pod, we like sat down. She's like, "Does anybody have a pair of pants I can borrow? Because this is intense." I'll loan you some pants. It's an intimate view for an intimate pod.
Yeah, it's mostly just like, hey, think about your opinion on jacking off.
Yeah,
and bring that with you.
And I have many.
Yeah,
it's important.
Yeah, it is.
It's important. It's funny how because we were talking earlier about we watch videos of bodybuilders eating. Big fans of seeing what they eat in a day.
Love it, yeah.
It's curious how this guy is so big and strong now. He has to use a CPAP machine again. Or not again, but he has to use a CPAP machine. And it's funny, the horseshoe theory of like, you're so out of shape, you have to use a CPAP to sleep, and then you get so in shape you need it again.
You like can't breathe because the weight of your muscles.
So big.
Yeah. He's like 320 pounds.
It's crazy.
He's the world's strongest man. Like he won it.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah. He's not like, oh, I do strongman. He's the world's strongest man. But he's he has gone into such a specific like physical niche that he has to be so fat that he has, and so fat he said he's 20% body fat, which is pretty crazy for a guy that's 320 pounds. He kind of has abs. It's insane.
Well, those like strongest men types, and they always have that like old school barrel chested body. They're not like defined. They're just like
no, you can't. It's too much.
You literally like they talk about it. They build a big gut because they have to they have to pick up that big log
and the logs and the boulders.
Yeah, and they rest it on that. Yeah. So they have like
smart.
Literally, it's like they build a shelf.
So it's gamesmanship.
Yeah. It's cunning.
Yeah. Magnus von Magnuson was the dude.
Truly,
yeah, I love that guy.
Dude.
But the opinions about jacking off, like you're a teenager.
This
is the horseshoe. This is the horseshoe I was talking about.
Do the work and not have to.
when you're a teenager, obviously you jack off out of necessity because no one's fucking you because you're a sticky-handed.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. No, go on, dude. I do comedy.
But then you, again, in terms of the general population, you get married and have kids, and then you have to jack off because your wife is tired. Or whatever. And you're with someone, and you have a child.
Married, we have a child.
You're with a child and a person, and a woman who is lovely and very funny.
Yes, super funny.
She doesn't talk to me.
Wait, are you guys texting? You're texting
we
right
text
now?
all the time. What time's Robby coming over?
It's just because of what he did.
Yeah.
That's it.
For my sins. But do you find yourself hitting that moment of like, oh, I'm in Everybody Loves Ray, or I'm going to the closet to jack off, or what? I didn't watch the show.
No, I don't. Like, I'm not like, you try to hit, you never want to be like, I'm waiting for you to leave so I can jack off. You know, if that's your situation, you're in a bad way. You know, like Louis used to have like bits about that, and it's like, then 3 years later, he was divorced, you know?
Yeah. And then 3 years later.
But that's true. It's like, oh, what? You actually didn't have to wait for her to leave to jack off.
Seems like your proclivity needs a person there. Yeah.
You were mad when she was gone, it seems.
But I never, jacking off it's been a lifetime constant. I've never been in a relationship where like I'm not jacking off.
Truly, it's for you. It's
I don't know if anyone is. I guess there's some like weirdos out there, but I think most people like are probably jacking off even when they're getting a regular stream of sex.
It feels like there are some people who think that if your partner jacks off, that's cheating.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's fucking.
That's like a really
That's lame.
And I'm like, then I have never been faithful once in my entire life.
I'm cheating on you during this conversation. But I have been in relationships or partnerships, people I talk to, where it's so much sex. I'm like, I kind of want to leave my penis alone.
Yeah,
I gotta give my penis a break.
Yeah. Wait, what do you have? You have a strong drive? Like, if you're in a relationship where you can have sex whenever you want, how many times a week are you having sex? Probably
6-ish.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
5 or 6-ish.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's like It's 6 in a row on one day.
Yeah,
and then I leave it alone.
Yeah.
I'm like a lion.
Yeah.
It takes 14 seconds. And she's biting my balls for more. I don't know. I've seen lions.
I think in the beginning of a relationship, or even just a short fling hookup like that, 6 times a week is probably about right.
Yeah.
But then once you've been with someone for 6-ish months, it's like you're doing good at 2 a week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The long relationship I was in, 8 months. No, 5 years. That was it was pretty healthy sexually the whole time, and at the lowest was 3 times a week or something like that. And she's like, "Hey, is that weird?" I'm like, "I'm cool. I'm happy. I'm not."
Yeah.
She's like, I think a lot of times women might be like, "Are you cheating on me?"
Right.
And it's like, "Yes, but that's different."
But that's a different thing. Nothing to do with that.
Yes, of course I am.
Yeah, it's not personal.
It's nothing to do with you.
Oh, honey, it's something about you.
Oh, another thing you're going to be a bitch about.
No, I just felt like I needed to. No, that's it.
Something in my DNA was telling me to.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to.
Yeah. All right. It's interesting. Good to know. It makes me, because I am not married, obviously, and never will be, but it does make me happy when I have people that I'm friends with. And I'm like, oh, cool. You didn't get married and fall into the cliche of I hate this. I'm going to kill myself.
No. I think we were pretty healthy sexually. I feel like we could put a little more work in. You know, we could always do better.
I feel like the first 3 years of a kid though is all right, let's fucking buckle down and do our best.
You know what's funny? What will surprise you? I don't know if either of you guys are in the market for a kid, planning kids long term.
No,
but
quite the opposite.
It's kind of how quickly the kid just becomes an extension of you until they're a more formed person.
Oh, okay.
So you will. It's I hate to kind of say it just very publicly, but you just basically have sex on your baby sometimes, you know?
It's right there. You're like, okay,
the baby's in bed with you, and you're just she's asleep, but she's part of us.
Hey, it's a big bed.
Yeah.
It's not a full size.
It's almost like when you watch a cooking show and they're making the thing, but they already have the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's right here.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
Maybe I want to set up over your ass. Yeah.
No, a fresh baby. That's cool. Good to know. All right. Yeah, I assume that. I assume people just put their baby in a closet for 45 minutes or whatever.
Just right there. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you have a baby and you're sneaking to have sex, but you still do the whole candles. Turn on music and you slow dance like Ving Rhames and Loverboy or Baby Boy or whatever.
I light a fire. Yeah, we do the whole thing.
You're like, all right, I'm gonna put a bunch of rose petals down. Don't let the kid crawl around and eat them.
Those are actually very toxic for babies, so be careful.
Yeah, they love sensual massage oil. They love getting their little fingers on them.
Dude, I was in the airport yesterday and I saw a kid having the crying baby on the plane thing. I so completely understand it. I'm not I think my stance is if a baby is crying on a plane, I'm annoyed, and then if another guy gets annoyed at it, I'm I'm on the baby's side.
So much
that.
worse.
I would never vocally be annoyed. I would just be like, oh man, that sucks. I bet you that kid's experiencing a strange thing for a first time. Anyway, but there was a dad and his son in the bathroom, and the kid was having such a meltdown in the bathroom. I was like, let me Google Denver airport vasectomy. He was throwing him, it was a thing where the dad was literally just holding him by the back of his shirt, and the kid was flipping and throwing himself and making on the bathroom floor. And you could tell that this was the tail end of a long meltdown, and the dad was just he wasn't even mad at the kid. He had resigned to it, basically. He was just standing there, and I was just fucking hell, that seems so brutal, because you're just I can't do anything about this.
There's nothing you can do. Logic isn't gonna win. It's just it's a new person. They're new on Earth. You know.
Yeah.
I would be the such an awful dad, because I would just be looking at my son and be like, do you understand that you look foolish right now?
You look like a real bitch right now.
You're making me look foolish.
Well, I talk about that house. I'm so glad I have a girl, because if I had a little boy who was crying, if there's a baby, I'd be like, grow up, bro. You're embarrassing yourself.
Now, be mature now already. Yeah.
How are you not past this? You're 6 months old.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
start pulling your weight. 8 pounds, 6 ounces.
Pull yourself up by your diaper. Fuck. Okay. It's The baby on the plane thing, when adults get mad, it's like, imagine you're in a room and all of a sudden the room starts hurting your face.
Yes.
Like, that's
totally.
crazy. It's
your
terrifying.
head, your ears just pop. You're fucking shaking. It's crazy. Yeah. Do you guys know? Do you know Ricky Velez's story about this? Because they got a bit about. But like, I'm not going to do his bit. But like, it's a thing. We
have
a comes down all of a sudden.
We have a stool right there.
Stolen Valor corner.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do somebody else's bit.
Yeah, do someone else's bit. Fuck it.
He was like in an airport bathroom. And if you're like, it was like a dad traveling alone with his like 5-year-old kid. And I guess the dad absolutely had to take a shit. And you can't leave the 5-year-old somewhere. So he had to bring the 5-year-old in the stall. And the 5-year-old is like, is old enough to be like, I'm not cool with
I
this.
hate this. Yeah.
So he's like, I'm leaving. And the dad's like, don't leave. And then you hear like the lock shaking and the dad's like fighting the kid to not open the door. You know, and it's like one of those, no one is wrong there. You know, the kid is right to be like, fuck this. And the dad is right to be like, I can't let you out there. You know?
Hey, man, I'm making memories. I don't want this to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I'm like, a parent is okay to have a leash. Because it's like,
put the leash through the door.
Yeah, I got you. Like you're fishing, you put your feet up on the door, and you're like, that's where it makes a lot of sense. Because that kid is going to be like, dude, I don't want to know this about you.
I feel like leashes are probably like a homing beacon for pedophiles, though. You know, they see that leash and they're like, this one's gonna break free at some point.
He
you know,
wants
to break free. That's when you
that's an
snatch
interesting
him.
point.
That's like when there's like a dog in your neighborhood that you know is kind of aggressive, and you go up to the fence to like mess with it, so it starts freaking out.
Fuck you.
Yeah. You see your pedophile, you see the kid on the leash, you just start shaking Nerds gummy clusters across the room.
Come on.
You son of a bitch.
Dude, have you been keeping? You're not keeping up with.
Have you been keeping up with Nerds gummy clusters?
Hey, have you seen the tweet from the guy who invented the Nerds gummy clusters?
No.
Some woman tweeted.
So funny.
Some woman tweeted, if I ever meet the man who invented the Nerds gummy clusters, he needs to get his dick sucked. And the guy's like, hey, I'm glad you like them. There's a new flavor coming out in November. If I was 20 years younger, I'd take you up on it. Really fucking funny.
That's really
But
fucking funny.
have you been seeing how many YouTubers are catching pedophiles lately? Like,
Dude.
this is an
that's like a
insane
thing
new
that's happening.
thing.
But I haven't like watched it. I've just seen like people talking about it on Twitter. What is it? Basically, just people doing like low rent to catch a predator.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's mostly this guy Vitaly, who I know from the fitness world of being like a charlatan selling programs.
Love it. Yeah.
Idiot.
Liver King. Type.
Yeah. Idiot. He got like, I don't know if extradited is the right word. I don't think he committed a crime. He like owed money left. Went to like the Ukraine or some shit. This might be also all wrong.
I'm glad you did your research on this.
Yeah,
fine.
I know something.
Vitaly's not watching.
But now he's like, no one's going to buy his program. No one gives a shit about him in the fitness world.
Yeah.
So he decided to start live streaming him catching predators.
Yeah.
Which on the surface is a good thing. It's like, oh yeah, catch them. But then it's like, they're like, they shaved one of the guy's heads while they're making him eat the world's hottest chip. And it's like, what are we doing?
Whoa, he's like doing like
YouTube
pranking
pranks
them.
which is again like it's like on the surface on the concept of like punishing.
Yeah,
I like the idea of punishing.
Yeah.
But
He
like
puts increasingly hot sauce on children's dicks.
yeah. But it's like whoa, this I almost feel like I'm part of the. I don't know. I feel weird about it.
It's interesting that they're making him do YouTube pranks where they're like, all right. You thought you were gonna have sex with a child. Now go to the hood and start pranking gang members.
Yeah, literally, it's very strange.
But then does the law enforcement ever get involved? Like then does he or if not, it's just pranking pedophiles.
I don't know.
Is it just like a public shaming?
Yeah, it seems like some of them are public shaming, but a lot of them are with cops. I did see one where they literally got Akon, the actual singer. And they caught a pedophile, and he pulled out a boombox and started singing "Locked Up."
Yeah, that's super fun. It won't let me out. Yeah,
dude.
amazing.
It's funny,
but you watch
weird.
it. This is the thing where, like, because I used to watch To Catch a Predator, to figure out what not to do.
Oh, don't go see them.
Don't message them. Interesting. Okay.
If I have a cookie, can I leave or what's up?
But you see, like the guys that were on there, and I watched the Akon clip, and I will say that the men that they are targeting do not have their full mental facilities, let's say.
Oh, sure.
They seem to be below average intelligence. And it is a weird thing to be like, all right, we got this guy who wanted to do a bad thing.
Yeah.
But we're like, you're tricking him in such a simple way that you're like, this guy should just, it's like, he should be arrested, or he should just have a home health aide, watching him at all times because he needs adult supervision.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation because it's like, yeah, of course, this stupid YouTuber who couldn't succeed as a charlatan fitness influencer, he's not catching like professors at Harvard that are also pedophiles. He's catching like
he's not targeting Larry Nassar.
Exactly.
He's getting the guy who has to work the 2 to 6 p.m. shift at McDonald's, like scraping the fryer.
Yeah,
like that's who he's getting. Who also shouldn't be doing that.
Who also, again, it's just an interesting.
No one here is pro fucking kids.
No one here is
against. We're all
at best, I'm amateur. But dude, that was like one of my first jobs. My first like adult jobs. I worked in a kitchen.
You suck people off for money?
Yeah. I worked in a kitchen. I worked in the kitchen at the Big Sausage Pizza restaurant. I was the guy who cut the hole in the pizza so the guy could put his dick through.
They always come back from deliveries like, did they like the pizza? Did they say anything?
I worked really hard on it.
Why am I getting Parmigiano Reggiano? No,
yeah. But I was a dishwasher, and they were like, all right, this guy is your boss. He's the head dishwasher. And he was like a 70-year-old Italian, like from Italy guy, the like darkest fake black hair and mustache, like he was hiding from something. And then one day, one of the chefs, one of the guys who cooked the food comes up to me and he goes, you ever look at his ankle? And I go, no. And they go, look at his ankle next time he walks through. And I look, and he had an ankle monitor on. And they were like, you know why is that on there? And I go, no. And he goes, pedophile. Oh. And I just go, oh, cool. Yeah, he goes, yeah, don't hang out with him. I go, oh, I wasn't planning on hanging out with the 70-year-old Italian dishwasher.
Just for men, jet black Italian,
yeah, I'm like,
damn it, I made plans to go see the Mets with him.
Yeah, I'm like a 19-year-old guy with a nose ring, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is my 70-year-old friend, pedophile Vincenzo.
When he met you, was he like, how old are you? And you're like 19. He goes, fuck. Damn it.
Missed the cut.
Damn it.
But it's just, the idea of having a lead dishwasher is very funny, too.
Yeah.
Like, one day you could be me, kid.
Yeah. One day when you get you figure out the ropes here of not eating the chicken fingers off of the plates in the bus tub. Yeah. Once you figure out how to do that, you'll go far. Yeah. But I guess it's like the thing where it's like if someone works, I feel like he'd worked there for like a really long time, so they had to give him some kind of
title.
Yeah,
to keep him around because he had a lot of options as a pedophile.
Yeah.
Other restaurants are trying to pull him over.
That's how bad it is in the restaurant industry. Where you're like, we have to placate this pedophile so he does not leave us because we do need him a little bit.
Oh yeah, I worked a shift where the dishwasher himself didn't leave, but the dishwasher machine broke.
Yeah,
it was the worst night of my life.
That's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
people were so not understanding.
Yeah.
Of how long food was going to take. It's like, do you have any idea how long it takes to wash a bunch of dishes by hand?
Yeah.
Look at that guy. We're waiting for his plate.
Literally. We numbered them. Yeah. That one's next.
People always like, there's all this like, comics are so fucked up. They're so like, when I worked in restaurants, it was nothing. It was not even close.
Yeah.
Comics are not close to the darkness of like wait staff and kitchen staff.
Yeah. Like the guys who are like, I am the guy who cleans the fish. And that's what I do. I'm not trying to be the head chef. I'm the guy who cuts open I'm really good at it. I'm the guy who cuts open the fish. You could never cut open a fish as fast as me. But that's what my job is. And then the mentality of a guy like that, he's like, it was at 4:30 p.m. I got to start chugging Coronas and grabbing the waitresses.
Yeah.
I need to.
I'm doing bumps in the walk-in.
Yes.
I watched a Honduran man heat up a knife and then burn a guy for a giggle. I'm like, that's a third degree. That's like it's bubbling. This is bad. Like
Dude, it's so funny to do coke to cook better.
Yeah.
How insane is that? You're like, no, I gotta really focus on the butter sauce for the asparagus. Let me do a shit ton of coke.
Yeah, man. That's really what the kitchens in, I'll say for New York, is because where I've worked, but it's like it's fuel. That's the only way that job works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your feet for 10 hours, just fucking in heat, sweat. Like, it's a crazy job.
Yeah, I was a server in Tampa, Florida, and
that's
was
one of the big culinary institutes.
That's right, one of the
major.
That's where they invented jalapeno poppers.
we take credit for the Cuban sandwich.
Yeah,
okay, that is good. That is good.
It's great. It's funny. The Cubans are just like, it's so funny. They literally just put cheese and ham and pork, and they're like, we invented a sandwich, and you're like, it's a sandwich, man. No, it's been around forever.
No, but we mushed it.
But we
hot.
We made it. Yeah.
Mustard.
But everyone was just selling pills at the restaurant I worked at. It was just like different people sold a different pill, you know?
Yeah.
That was the whole game.
Huh. Yeah, it's respectable. Have a griff in your job.
Yeah, and every manager got fired at some point for stealing a crazy amount of money from the restaurant.
Oh, yeah. God, that was the thing. I never figured out how to steal at any of my restaurant jobs. I didn't have that many. But I would just kind of like, I think I was so low on the ladder at all of them.
You steal dishes?
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't entering my shift meal into the computer. I was like, hey, I'm not going to learn to use the POS system so I can tell you I ate 3 chicken tenders.
Yeah.
So let's just assume that you're going to lose 9 to 12 chicken tenders a week.
It's just part. Yeah,
that's part of it. That's part of the cost of goods there.
The only time I would steal from the restaurant was if
felt like it.
if I wanted more money, if 2 people got the same thing, not the same table, 2 different tables, got the same thing and one paid in cash, I would void the cash.
Oh yeah,
and be like, oh no, it was a mistake. I double put it in.
Yeah.
And like, thank you so much.
Yeah,
$18 for me.
Yeah.
Which is when you're serving, like that's $18 just of extra cash. Yeah. I one time my girlfriend at the time and her sister came. I was like, come into the restaurant and I'll hook you guys up with like, you know, because you could send apps to tables without ringing them, you know.
Sick.
So I would just send them like 4 different types of apps or whatever, and then the manager comes over to me. He's like, hey, I just noticed that table and I looked in the system and none of those apps have been rung. Are you going to ring those by the basically like you have to charge these people for this stuff? And then I just had to do it, and then I wasn't going to charge them, so I split it off and just like it cost me like $40. Basically, what I made that lunch shift.
Yeah. To be a nice person.
To be a nice person. It is funny the idea of trying to take any kind of like work griff and apply it to a creative, like a writing job.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure like, oh no, so what I do is I go into the snack room and take all the seltzers and resell them. Do anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I take 12 packs of seltzers and I put them on Amazon.
You're
doing retail arbitrage from
You show up to work one day, the kitchen's like a CVS. Everything's just behind glass.
Fuck.
You got a PA with a key.
Yeah.
You're ringing the you're like, hey, I want 8 almonds.
He comes over as like, fine. He has to unlock 8 locks for each almond. No, that's fun. Okay. I like
It's
that.
such a fun system that everybody fucking hates, where it's like you hate asking for the fucking deal. They hate opening it.
They hate doing it.
Outwardly hate opening it for you. And why wouldn't they? But it's just such a nightmare.
There's nowhere else around it.
There's like there's the like whatever Dwayne Reader Write It over here. There's like a woman where I want to be like, can you just follow me around? Just hey, be my personal Rite Aid concierge.
Totally.
Because I need 4 things and we both know they're behind plastic.
Yeah.
And I know what I want. So I'm like, I'll go here. I want that deodorant. I want that toothpaste. I want that hair thing. And let's just have a nice little time.
Let's have a good time. You know, change the whole system. Instead of fucking everything behind glass, let's just get one bouncer out front. You know, make it like a nightclub.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude, or like your when I worked retail, when they had to look in your backpack before you left the store to make sure you weren't stealing,
which is illegal, by the way.
Is it really?
They're not allowed to do that. If you say no and they fire you for that, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
What is really funny, like when you see, you know, like people have videos on Twitter of like someone walking in and stealing everything off the shelves and then all the comments are like, everyone just stood there and didn't do anything. Like, I'm not going to get into a fight to defend CVS's honor, you know? Like, what do you want people to do?
Did you see the video of the guy? I think it was in San Francisco. He walked into the Apple store and he just stole all of the iPhones.
Oh, yeah.
He was like yanking. Yeah, he was like, I was like, I didn't know that it was so easy to yank those little cables
so
off.
Easy to yank,
holy
apparently.
shit. I don't know. I don't know why I thought they were like high tensile steel wire. Like you could put up a bridge with the little strap that holds the iPhone on. But I was like, man, he's really just yanking that off quickly. Yeah. And pretty like calmly.
Yeah. Because those are like they're what's it called when a store's rules for themselves?
Yeah. Whatever rules of
they're like, don't let them go.
Let
them go. We're not gonna get in a fist fight and then get sued and lose a lot of money.
Yeah. And also like if you work at the Apple store, I don't know many Apple Store employees who are going to be better at fighting than the guy who is confidently stealing 25 cell phones.
But that's what they need. Like they have their genius bar, and then they need their idiot bar. You know, they need their like, just like some bruisers just waiting.
Yeah, just those like the two goon cartoon guys from the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just 2 guys like that.
Yeah, dude. God.
Yeah, you just have two Russian UFC fighters. Just
I
like
can't get my phone to work. He's like, I don't know.
Oh, that sucks.
Over there.
They're nice. They're not like me.
No.
Like, that's happened to me before too.
Bad for you.
You see the video with the boy with turtles? And he's like, yeah, I have. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Pull that up on your phone.
Yeah, maybe
when you fix it, come back and show me. Show me. I want to see it again.
I can't get it on my phone.
They won't give me one.
God. Did you guys see the video of RFK talking about the bear?
Yep.
I didn't watch the video, but I'm familiar with the whole story.
It was really I watched the video last night.
Robert F. Kennedy.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
For the layman.
Our greatest presidential candidate at the time, in a way. The one that I relate to the most, I'll say that.
He looks like something's about to pop out of his face. Like his skin's about to burst.
Yeah.
A werewolf is going to pop out.
I just relate to him in a way where he just keeps getting caught lying. And I go like, yeah, I know that feeling.
But lying with insane shit, so funny.
Yeah.
Like they tried to make it look like a murder-suicide with a bear cub or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they put a bicycle on top of the bear cub.
Yeah. And the story was, I saw somebody else hit the bear cub, so then I figured I would get rid of it. Which is a second bad lie.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, I didn't have enough time, so I just figured I'd dump it in Central Park.
It makes sense when you like zoom out enough and think about him as a person where it's like, yeah, I guess a real dumb athletic moron who like has never had to really work, has always kind of like coasted on his family name with no consequences. I'll just do the immediate thing my imagination came up with, where most adults who have consequences, like they might have a flash of that idea, but they don't even like see it. It's just like,
yeah. Well, it makes you think about JFK Jr., like, because he died in that plane crash, and it was like... Allegedly.
Yeah.
But it's probably like, because he's a fucking idiot, probably trying to fly a plane with no, that should happen. They're just, every generation of them gets dumber as well, because they had, like, Ted Kennedy had Chappaquiddick or whatever, where it's they had to, like, dispose of a body, and now it's just, like, bear cubs in Central Park.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Dude, yeah, I'm just like... I mean, there's obviously no way he's going to win the presidency, but... It'd be so awesome if he did.
It's just so funny. Everything comes out, like the brainworm thing is so fucking funny.
Oh
he keeps bringing it up too. Like I feel like people might forget because he keeps doing so many insane things.
Yeah.
But he's like, I had brainworms, by the way. Don't forget.
Because he knew they were going to reveal the bear, so he can be like brainworms. You think if I didn't have a brainworm, I would have dumped a bear cub in Central Park and tried to make it look like a cover up?
He's like, what am I not going to kill a bear after I'm the kind of guy who eats a dog? And then everyone's like, what?
Wait, what happened?
Wait, what happened with the dog?
Did you? The craziest part about this, it's like the like this is just how our country works. Did you see the New York Times article in 2014 about the bear was written by JFK's granddaughter?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So it's like the Kennedys are recovering the Kennedy cover up.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What a life. What a life.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
Also, why was he talking to Roseanne? That's her in the video, right?
Yeah. Roseanne is interviewing him.
When you're
in a way, he's talking at Roseanne, it seems.
You know when you kind of wake up and only one of your eyes work, and you're kind of looking at your phone, and I'm just like, is that fucking Roseanne? Am I fucking crazy right now?
Yeah, well, he's doing his entire political campaign on Rumble, it seems.
Oh, right.
Probably.
Right.
So that's why Roseanne is there.
What do you think is like better or worse? Like, is it better when we have people who are like, they're evil, but they're operators, so they're like smart professional grown-ups doing evil shit? Or is it better to have these fucking morons like RFK and Trump who are like kind of incompetent, but also very capable of evil shit too? Like, what's better? At least one of them are fun. Like RFK and Trump are funny, but they're... Yeah.
But does the funny outweigh the damage that they're able to do?
Trump is kind of different because he's like existentially dangerous, I think, whereas RFK would just kind of be a weird good time.
Yeah.
Everybody got to do bench press today. Like, fuck.
Everyone does the presidential fitness test now.
We're making it harder.
We all do it.
Tuesday is leg day.
National Leg Day. That's a great question. I think because I don't really see either of them really pulling any, like really making the actual decisions. It's a bunch of lizard people up there. I think the comfort that a actual evil person gives people, because they're like, all right, someone's making decisions. I know they're fucking me over, but they're holding on the steering wheel. The fear of someone like RFK is not even in the car. Like, he's ghostwriting the country. is a type of uncertainty and anxiety that I don't necessarily want to have in my day-to-day life. But also, I feel like other countries are like, do we want to take the country? Do we want to invade America?
Yeah, Chinese people just looking at each other like, now? Well,
because it's like the thing. It's like every politician, every presidency, there's things that you as a person, and no matter what your political stances are, don't agree with are happening all the time. Where you're like, yeah, I guess I felt more safe when Obama was the president, but there were still like, drone strikes on families' birthday parties and stuff like that. So it's just like, how does the person who's in charge make you feel personally?
Literally.
Because no matter what, there's going to be some kind of atrocity tied to you who's in charge if you live in America. Because we're always going to be domineering over someone else.
We are the war machine.
We are the center of imperialism for the world.
So unless I'm the president, I'm not going to be like, yeah, this guy's awesome. This guy's the best.
And even if you want to just turn that off, that's a multi-year process. You can't just be like, we're done being the imperialist.
I thought you meant mentally. Where I'm slowly being like, you don't give a shit and whatever, who cares?
No, that I managed to do quickly. But.
It is funny how when like you're like a teenager, like, why do we do so much evil stuff? And then you get older and you're like, do you have any idea how many people's jobs are involved?
Yeah.
For like that would need to go away.
Totally.
For evil not to like for us not to be nurturing consistent evil among the world.
Yeah, like 40% of the country, maybe.
We'd have to get rid of the other 4 walls of the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Crash a plane into one, and they were like, "All right, we're on the way there."
All right, here we go.
It is so funny, like because at some point you get, we're taught what we're taught about America when you're kids, and then like you start to learn real shit as you get older, and your perspective starts to shift, and it's like, I don't know, like after the Trump attempted assassination, it was honestly funny to me to see all these like news people and Democrats and Republicans being like, "There's no place for political violence in this country," and you're like, literally everyone on our money. Like their claim to fame is political violence. They're all violent revolutionaries who overthrew a government to start a new government, and they were like, "Not in America. Well, that's not what we do here." It's like we're taught to worship these guys.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like no political violence, and it's like, and do not look into what we have done in Venezuela,
Iran, Chile,
any other country, Afghanistan, any place you can think of.
Here, nothing.
Yeah. No. There's no political violence for white politicians.
Yes.
that doesn't. White politicians. And also Obama.
Yeah. But even white rich trust fund kids who are like marching in Brooklyn are getting fucking kettled by cops and getting their shit beat, which is also political violence. But,
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's such a vague term to say none. It's like, you mean no violence towards politicians.
Yeah.
American politicians in America.
Yeah.
There's a lot of niche addendums to that.
Right.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, remember when we all watched Saddam Hussein get hung in public? Remember that non-political, non-violent act?
Uh-huh.
When we all celebrated John Cena telling us that we killed Osama bin Laden.
I watched it because that whole thing always bothered me. The where is like they threw his body overboard.
Oh, bin Laden, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, what? Why would you do that? I'm like, that makes no sense. It's like such an easy way to cover up the thing. And then I watched this really insightful video about the difficulty of dealing with his body because of his religious beliefs.
Right, all the Muslim stuff.
Yeah, I was like, oh, thank you. Fine. Like, how come it took me 12 years from it?
But this is why RFK would be a great prank. Because imagine they just threw him in Central Park and put a bicycle over his head. Like, done. Covered up.
Fucking cyclist did it.
Some dog walker finds Osama bin Laden just being like, oh.
Is that a 6'2"? There's a dialysis machine on Central Park West.
Dude. Who's is it? It's not Paul Pierce, right? Somebody, the guy, whoever tweeted about Osama bin Laden being so tall he should have played ball instead.
Hilarious.
It's really it's
good.
Like some NBA player was like, I just found out how tall Osama was. He should have balled instead. And you're like, fuck, that's so awesome.
Imagine somewhere there's like footage of him 21, just like, and he's got like,
dude, you didn't know Osama bin Laden was on the N1 mixtape tour?
Black Widow, the professor, Osama,
the 3-point terrorist. And you're like, and then afterwards you're like, oh, Yeah, I guess that name did make sense. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
9/11 maker. And you're like, wait, what? What's 9/11?
Yeah, it's 1998. And he's like, you'll get it.
You'll get it.
He's talking to Escalate, and he goes, so, in a couple years, maybe steer clear of the...
Don't ever work in the World Trades. That's the new conspiracy theory. They got all the N1 mixtape guys at the Twin Towers.
Half man, half amazing was nowhere to be
The
seen.
professor did not show up for work.
Dude, speaking of...
Skip to my Lou was in Tower 7. I know all their names.
I love the Animal Mix. They were so much fun.
The height of TV.
Yeah, it was so great.
God, that is just so funny though. Like just talking about weird, not like the pedophile hunter videos and stuff, but like the professor having to like every year more and more. He's like, all right, I have to dress up as an old man and then go play basketball in a prison, a woman's prison.
Yeah.
Soon enough, it's every video is gonna be him. I am an old man.
Yeah, like the individual version of like what happens when a show gets to season 11, but it's one person. It's all in one person. It's like it's exactly what it is.
Dude, like, I mean, that's like the Mr. Beast thing where you have to like keep like it's like the thing is how big his videos are now.
Yeah, that's
so it's like on a grand and you put out a video once a month. It's like there's only so much you can expand before you're like, I don't know, getting in trouble for torturing people and stuff like that. Yeah. What is funny that it's like he's doing like Guantanamo Bay stuff to people.
Yeah.
But we're just like, yeah, it's on YouTube. It's funny.
Fine.
It's cool.
Funny.
It's a good time.
Because then he gives them $10,000 taxed. Gets taxed.
Mr. Beast buys Chad, the country.
Dude.
I don't know. I'm like, I haven't really watched, but I know who he is. But like,
for you.
Who's that? Oh, wait, who's that? There was another one who like got taken down for sex stuff. Is someone in his crew, and he had to make some apology. But it was so funny because the guy who got like called out for being a fucking sex pest, his name was Dirty Dom.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
so Ted be like, I didn't know Dirty Dom was doing all that stuff. And you're like,
people let his full legal name because like I can't say it. Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is the thing now where I'm like. I guess it's because they're making like media for children. But I'm like, I mean, I guess it's because I have a podcast about being a 36-year-old loser. There's not a lot of teens who are messaging me that I have the chance to reply to. Except there was one. But he was a guy. He was a kid. He's a shout out Big Al.
Oh, Big Al.
He's like 20 now, so it's fine.
But he would he eat balls.
Dude,
he's dripping an N1 mixtape.
He's like 6'10". I met him recently at doing shows in Tulsa. He was awesome. But he'd be like 16 and he would just DM us and just be like, "Hey, do you want to see me dunk in my high school basketball game?" And I was like, "Absolutely,
hell yeah,
yes, I do."
Of course, I want to see that.
That yes goes across the board to any listener.
Yeah,
if you dunk a basketball, we want to see it.
We want to see it.
And if I get enough videos, I'll put it. I'll splice them together.
Yeah, dude, I'm doing Big Al fan cam.
Oh, dunk compilation.
Who's this? It's one of our listeners.
Yeah, that's Big Al. He's a kid I know in a way.
It's gotta be fun to be a fan of a podcast and then they talk about you for 4 minutes.
Yeah. Listen, if you want us to talk about you more, start dunking.
Dunk more.
Hit those fundamentals.
But yeah, it is interesting how many like that Dr. Disrespect guy, which is really funny that's his name. That I have to know his name too.
Hey,
it really bugs
DMing
me.
a child is very disrespectful.
That, you know,
he has a doctorate in it.
Yeah, that's like. That's like going to Sloan Kettering and being like, "Oh, that guy's solving cancer." I guess.
Yeah.
Like that's it. It's in his title,
right?
The Doctor of Disrespect. But yeah, it's like how. I don't know. Not to be on some moral high ground against DMing teenagers, but it's like it feels like it's really easy to not do that.
Unbelievably easy.
So easy.
Every day I wake up and I don't DM a teenager.
Every time I see a teenager, like if I see a teenager like on social media, I'm like, oh, I forget they're on here.
Oh, I block.
I forget that not everyone is 37 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time my niece texts me, I go, "Text me when you're 18." I'm not getting caught in anything.
Nah. That's why. It's funny because it's like, dude, how easy your life is. You just play video games for tons of money and you threw it away. Morons.
Yeah, that was like, but they're always like PewDiePie. How much money does that guy make? Like,
Millions.
It's wild. Yeah.
It's wild how much money they make.
It's crazy to be so popular at playing video games. You have like, they're like, "Oh, it's the PewDiePie flavored energy drink."
Yeah.
And you're like, That's how popular you are.
That is what's like interesting ultimately is like you can have all your like whatever, you don't go on the traditional media route. You go but ultimately like the consumerist machine will still like you're still going to be on a can of Mountain Dew at some point.
Absolutely.
You know? Like you're still going to slip into the old system and then whatever, they'll monetize you and spit you out on the other side.
But at least those guys are like, okay, you're good at a video game. Guys like that kid Speed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think you're good at video games, but I mostly just see you just running around Europe screaming.
I think what he does is front flips. I swear to God, like what he does is flipping.
It's so crazy.
There's a video. It's like watch Speed flip over 2 cars.
Yeah,
or yeah, I would absolutely.
And it's fake.
I watched Jackass. I love that kind of stuff. I do wish that there was a little bit more. I guess it's like the thing where it's like when you're like a great artist in the like the classic sense of the word.
You.
Not you. No. When one is a great artist, you don't like tap into that world where it's like I'm not sipping on the Ernest Borgnine flavored Snapple.
Oh, that'd be a cool energy drink company.
Which I would love to. Yeah, I would love that. Like a real like
John Cassavetes Kiwi.
Yeah. I got the Meryl Streep Red Bull or whatever. Like I'm chugging on
Dude, that'd be the A24 energy drink.
Yeah.
It's all just, it's like, the Criterion Collection.
The Criterion
drink.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start making some designs. That's fucking a great idea.
That is I couldn't think of a product more made for me in the entire world. High-low. That's like, you're like, hey, listen, the Akira Kurosawa Monster Energy is what you want to be sipping on. And I'm like, yes.
That is
guarantee
yeah,
that's
1,000%.
I guarantee you I'm the only human being that's ever lived that watched the 400 Blows and immediately played Fortnite. No one else has ever done that.
Oh, dude, yeah, that sucks, by the way.
I don't think so. I think I'm a beautiful mixture of yin and yang.
I've
cultural yin and yang.
Never played Fortnite. I've never touched Fortnite.
It's okay.
I Call of Duty I've done. You know,
Same
I played
thing.
the games, but like Fortnite I've just.
Here's the thing. I think Fortnite's better because it's not military propaganda.
Oh, it's what is it, like fake characters? It's just
shooting each other.
Yeah, it's like Peter Griffin shooting RoboCop.
Oh, that's great.
Like
That's
that.
a good time.
Yeah,
I'm
literally,
into that.
I get to play as one of Paul Verhoeven's greatest characters.
RoboCop is so fucking
It's
good.
unbelievable.
It is so fucking good. Yeah.
I watched it when I was a kid, obviously, and I'm like, all right, shiny. And then I watched it as an adult.
Oh, shiny.
Oh, shiny. Yeah, I'll sit down. I'm like stacking my papers. Oh, shiny. Okay. Let's and watching it as an adult and being like, oh, it was satire. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's stuff that works on 2 levels, though, where you can enjoy it as a kid. Of just like, this is fucking cool. It's a robot cop shoot. And then you're like, yeah, you see the next level of it. It's fucking great.
Yeah, because it's like DMing as an adult when you're DMing a child works on a good level. And then being the child who's DMing the adult also works.
Is your kid choosing? I don't know, how old is your child? 3?
No.
2?
She's 16 months.
16 months.
16
What the hell?
She's a baby.
Never mind. I'm like, is she picking what she watches on TV? Yeah, no, she's not like.
She does like she'll watch like movies and stuff with Pixar stuff,
okay.
like Moana, Minions. She likes the Minions. I like the Minions.
Here, honey,
now.
this is called 12 Angry Men.
That is the thing, though. It's like when they're like, I guess like 16 months is like, you know, it's not so much just like a bag of jelly you have to make sure it doesn't die.
Yeah.
Like where you're not just like, oh, here's colors.
16 months is interesting in that like she's got like very clear like wants and desires and opinions, but cannot express them verbally.
Yeah.
So it's so that's exactly what it's like. Where she's like, look, she'll tip her head back, like, why don't you fucking know what I want? You idiot, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like,
she's like rolling her eyes,
and you feel so bad because you're like, I'm trying to find the thing that you want.
Yeah.
I know nobody wants to do bits with how they raise their child, but it would be very interesting to only have black and white TV in your house. And then when they're like 4, you're like,
just flip it like fucking Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
to make sure
Blow their mind.
But now the fact it's like when you go in the world, the entire world is bright colored screen, so you can't like that would be a really funny thing to do 20 years ago, and then but now it's like you go on the subway and it is like a bright changing LED screen instead of like you're like, oh cool, there was already an ad on single thing I could look at in the subway, and now they rotate.
How big was the TV in your house growing up?
When I was a kid, it was probably like 36 inches.
Oh, that's I'm a little older than you guys.
I had a pretty we didn't have like a
24.
huge TV. We had one of those because we had one of those like wooden hutches you had to like open.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they closed in front of the TV. So probably
classy.
Yeah, if we were we had a real classy house. We were probably at like a 30-inch, 36-inch, something like that.
Yeah, I think I grew up with like a 24-inch TV, some like JVC. You know, it's like it was as like deep as it was.
Yeah, it was a full cube.
Yeah.
I remember when I was, I must have been 10 or 12. Someone was throwing away a television that was like that, a full fucking cube.
Yeah.
And it was wood. A TV built into wood, and it would swivel on the wood like stand.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, if you want it in your, my brother and I had shared a room. Like, if you guys want it in your room, you can have it.
Yeah.
And I was losing my mind because it was like bigger than 36 inches. And we plugged our N64 and played GoldenEye on it, and had our friends come over. It was like the greatest week of my life.
GoldenEye is the fucking best game.
It's the best
game.
game.
It still holds up. It still holds up. It's fucking amazing. It's such a good game.
Yeah. And people still listen to the there's whole memes about the sound, like the song. It's so sick. Before we. Hey, welcome to Energy Drink Corner, everyone.
Oh, yeah, speaking
welcome
of...
to the Energy Drink
is this the
Corner,
Ernest Borgnine flavor?
No, we're going to do... We didn't do the sugar-free one, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. We do... we test a new energy drink every week.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's enough to do it every week.
Oh, you have no idea.
After talking about the socio-political implications of who leads the country, we also try an energy drink.
We always try. Yeah.
High and low. That's our whole thing.
That is true.
This week we're doing Red Bull, the Red Edition, sugar-free watermelon... Oh, watermelon. There's words, but it just says artificially flavored.
Oh, interesting. It's
not real watermelon.
Interesting.
Sugar-free, vitalizes body and mind. Sugar-free Red Bull.
You can really write anything on a can. No one stops you, huh? You can just say something. You can just say that vitalizes the mind, and no one is going to be like,
right.
I don't think you can say that.
Yeah, because they're like, what does that mean? You go like,
I don't know.
It doesn't kill you. It doesn't make your brain stop working. And you go
Robby,
like,
do you drink energy drinks?
I will for the purpose of this podcast.
Okay, but you don't have like a favorite. You don't have like.
Oh no, I actually never drink energy drinks.
Okay, you're just coffee. That's for you.
Yeah. Oh, for me?
That's for you.
Thank
that's
you.
for Michael.
I'm a can guy.
Cheers to friendship.
Cheers.
And
hey.
Guarana.
RFK Jr.
RFK Jr.
to a beautiful, long, and healthy election season.
See, what the story really was is that he found and killed a gay guy, a little gay man. I was like, no, it was a real bear.
Yeah, he was in Provincetown, and he imported him across state lines. That was the big problem.
Yeah, it's nice.
I almost had an opinion on it. I haven't sipped it yet. I was gonna be like, oh, nice, yeah.
It's almost exactly the same to the sugared version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is the I would say the dullness of an aftertaste that the sugared version doesn't have. The sugared version ends a little sharp, ends a little with a little bit of a bite. This does not have that. Again, not carbonated enough in my opinion, but not bad.
At one point, like a Canada Dry had like a cherry type of
soda.
soda. That's the vibe I'm getting from this.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Red Bull is appreciated worldwide by top athletes, us. Busy professionals.
What about bottom athletes?
Us. Nice. College students, not us. And travelers on long journeys. I'm on like a long emotional journey, I guess.
Counts.
Yeah. And then also, it is a low-calorie product. That's the sentence right after.
Did your brain feel vitalized at all?
I gotta say, no. I gotta be honest with you, not really.
Interesting.
This
Not
is fine.
yet.
It's
Not yet.
Not chuggable. Not crushable.
No, that's a little too
This is a
tart.
little bit more of a sipping energy drink. You want to take your time with this one. It's not syrupy, but I wouldn't say it's refreshing.
Yeah. Not recommended for children, pregnant, or nursing women and persons, that's nice, gender inclusive, sensitive to caffeine. Oh, interesting. You shouldn't be drinking Red Bull if you're sensitive to caffeine.
Hey, you learn something every day. So, Robby, what we do is we rate it 0 out of 5 lightning bolts.
Okay.
0, you hate it, obviously. 5, you liked it so much, you would search it out online to purchase, to order something.
Yeah.
To bring it to your house. So a guy brings it to your house.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3.25.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Look at that. Mike and I are so good
We're
at that.
synced up.
It's crazy.
It'd be so funny if I never thought about it and I just go, yeah, what he said.
Yeah, what he said.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You're thinking about something else and you hear a number and go, yep,
Oh, yeah, I agree also.
2.8.
2.8.
Yeah.
You know what? Now I realize I was trying to find the flavor. Now I know exactly what it is. It's Jell-O that's melted. It tastes like melted Jell-O, red Jell-O that is melted.
There is a specific characteristic to melted Jell-O where it almost feels like it has like an exoskeleton.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Where it feels like
there's just something. Yeah,
a membrane.
Yeah. There's a specter of hardness. You know, like
Absolutely.
I felt that many times.
Amen, brother.
But dude, I don't know why. I don't know if it's like, I guess maybe they used to have like sugar-free Jell-O or something, but there was a reason why my my mom would make Jell-O instead of buying like the pre-made cups, probably because it's also way cheaper to buy a 1-pack of powder and then do it yourself. But I remember being like sitting in my living room vibrating, waiting for the Jell-O. Yeah, just like being like, oh, and at one point she started just putting it in the freezer instead of the fridge, and it made it like a really interesting texture.
Oh, I can imagine
because it had like almost like shards in it, like rock. It was like a really. It was like really. I was like, I like this more than regular Jell-O.
Gordon Ramsay's coming in like, what'd you do over here?
Yeah. My mom's putting xanthan gum and changing the texture. She's doing molecular
sous vide Jell-O.
Wiley Dufresne's like, oh, you're doing something interesting here with this molecular gastronomy.
Oh.
But I remember being like, I fucking. Like having no patience at all, being like, I need that fucking Jell-O right now.
Oh yeah,
because I know it exists. Not that I was like, I want it. Not that I was like, oh man, I really wish I could have Jell-O. Yeah, it's here and I can't have it just yet, and I'm freaking out. That's kind of how I feel. That's how I feel with women on dates too. Where I go like, I know we can have sex.
I know we can do it. Got it. I got it.
I need it.
We don't want dessert.
Stop acting like you're not thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll have the kale Caesar salad, and she'll have the grilled chicken pesto. And can we get that in a to-go box right now? Bring it out to me to go.
Here's my credit card. You can Venmo me half.
And you can. My Venmo's written on the bottom of that. Deliver it, please. I'm already walking out. God. Did you see how comedically quickly Kyle Rittenhouse had to turn around his opinion?
Oh, did he go back to I'm for Trump?
In 12 hours.
Yeah, God bless him.
He posted about how he was not going to be voting for Donald Trump.
What was his initial reason for not wanting to vote for
The
Trump?
Second Amendment, that he's not pro-gun enough or something like that.
So he said he wanted to vote for Ron Paul, who's not running.
Who's not running, and I think dead. No idea.
Seems like it.
If he's not Rittenhouse, we'll make sure he is.
Yeah. And then he immediately was getting transvestigated on Twitter.
So
People were like,
funny.
hey, you're like a little girl.
Yeah.
And he's like, and realized that he really is never going to have a job. He's mostly going to be doing like appearances and like writing these books with no grammar in them.
Dude, if he writes a book, that's insane.
He has written a book.
Has he really?
Yeah, he's already written a book.
It was like 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 shots.
Kill a stranger.
Some guy's chest. Like, Jesus, dude. He is like, not even the fact that I disagree with literally everything he's about. He is like world-class stupid.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He's so stupid that Army was like, you're not allowed to try to be in the Army again.
Like,
that's how bad he failed the test.
Imagine how stupid.
And I know the kids from my high school who went to the Army, and they were not top of the class.
No.
That's an amazing fumbling of the bag where it's like, all you have to do is keep pandering to these fucking idiots and they'll pay you a $30,000 appearance fee to go to CPAC or whatever.
Literally. Yeah. That's your life. You get to go to gun shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, he gets the same treatment as like DJ Pauly D at like a club in Jersey. They're like, here's 20 grand, just walk through
literally.
and say hi to people. And then,
dude, I actually have an opinion.
Dude, no. It's like, no, you don't, first of all.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
God. And it's also funny to think that Trump would like peel back any gun laws or anything that would turn his base against him.
No.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I wonder who got in Rittenhouse's ear to be like,
it's not good enough, man. We gotta go somewhere else.
It was the gun talking to him. Kyle.
But it was funny where it was like, I literally saw people that like non-ironically were like, listen, when you killed those guys, I was on your side, but now you've gone too far.
Literally that.
For disrespecting President Trump.
Yeah, it's bizarre how much people want someone to worship. You know, it's just like...
Dude, it really is like such an interesting thing to me because it's like I have, you know... It's also like growing up, like being into like punk and hardcore. You're kind of like, hey, as soon as like literally you go to like one punk show and everyone's like, hey, by the way, the government's bad. And you're 12 and you're like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, actually, I guess I'll let you form my opinion. Guy whose name is Cannonball. That's pretty awesome for me, actually. But it is so funny that it's like you just like. I was thinking about this like, obviously it's like not good that there's the guy. Like when Trump got shot at, there was the other guy who was there who died. He got shot. But I'm also like, how do you know? Like, why are you at a political rally? Like, why are you even there? Just being like, this is my friend.
Yeah, it's
my
so
friend,
weird.
Donald Trump. It's like, I don't even. The only reason I know that there was a political rally is that there was a murder happened at it.
Yeah.
Like that's why I know that happened.
I think this is gonna sound crazy, but like I kind of get going to a Trump rally because he's just gonna fucking freestyle for 2 hours. Who knows what he's gonna say? But going to another like most of them, they just give the same speech in every city, a speech you can see on YouTube. They say the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would go to watch Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
lie to you.
Talk about being unburdened by being burdened by whatever,
Yeah, going to see going to see Kamala Harris is going to see like the Taylor Swift show, where it's like it's the same exact show every single time. They've got it down to a T. And going to see Trump is going to a fish show. Where you're like, oh, he's gonna go off on this thing for an hour. That's fucked. Yeah, that is But it is so interesting where I'm like, why like. Wearing political merch to me is so interesting.
Oh, it's crazy.
Where you're like, I love wearing a Trump shirt is like, I love my boss. I love the guy who's gonna make me pay taxes. Yeah. And some people love their boss, and that's nice.
That's good for them.
Good for them.
I love my boss.
Who's your? Oh yeah, you do love your boss.
See, but some people are very lucky. I think it almost reminds me of people that will go to church but aren't inherently like they don't necessarily like truly believe. It's like a community thing.
Yeah,
it's like there's nothing else to do here. I'm gonna go see everybody else, hang out. Everyone needs. Here's where I'm proud of myself for noticing very young in my life. Everyone needs something to look forward to, and that stupid fucking rally was that thing for some people.
For them, yeah. That is, I guess that is the thing, right? You go, you find your tribe, just like going to a concert, I suppose, right? Yeah. It's like you've heard the songs, you know the songs, but you're gonna be with 40,000 people who love the songs like you do, and I guess it's just that. But there is something like to the point of merch, like there is something so funny about someone in a MAGA hat, like calling someone a virtue signaler. And it's you understand what you're doing, right?
Yeah, you have. And you think this is not virtuous?
Yeah. It's really fun. It's really fun to watch the same amount of idiot argue itself. Yeah. And just like, you're just wearing a different jersey. It sucks.
Yeah. I just can't, like, I never engage with people online ever. I just don't argue with people about even people in person. I'm just like, you vote. I can't do it. I can't.
Oh, you're right. Cool.
I'm not going to have this argument with you. Yeah, totally. If that's what you want.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's like, I definitely think I'm going to change someone's opinion by screaming at them. Yeah. I think that'll help for
because the underlying issue a lot of times with that stuff is like, it's my team versus yours. Yeah. And people hate losing more than they hate not being right. So it's like, they're like, you might make a great argument, but they won't ever back down because they're just like, I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And it's also the big thing where it's like people, especially like kind of people who's like are professional, like, intellectuals and stuff, where it's like they try to like get through to people with like logic.
Oh yeah,
but I'm like, logic doesn't work. It's like they had to make a thing so you stand in line at the bank. Yeah. Like, and you're not gonna be like, all right, here's a really nuanced argument,
right?
So you change all of your values,
right?
It's like it has to be through some like it has to be through like either through some big personal realization or a tragedy.
The perfect example of how little sense makes, like any of this stuff makes, and like even beyond hypocrisy, is this Algerian boxer thing.
Yeah.
Of like, here's a lady with a fucking vagina.
Yeah.
Born a woman, grew in a place where you cannot be trans legally.
Yeah.
And she beat up an Italian woman. They're all like, that's a fucking man.
Yeah.
Their whole deal for 7 years has been like, if you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. There's no other thing.
Yeah.
And then this woman with a vagina hits an Italian woman, and they're like, that's a fucking man. And you're like, what? I don't know what the rules of this game are.
And it's also like, hey, you're an Italian woman. Your country is based on men hitting women.
Yeah.
You guys have shirts about how much you hit women.
Yeah. I was doing a bit about it because she's a cop, and I was like, oh, if you want to learn how to take a hit from someone with too much testosterone, like, don't become a cop, marry a cop.
Yeah. God. But yeah, it is so funny where they're like, if you're born with a vagina, you are a woman, and then now they're like, well, her T levels are a little high.
Yeah, and I'm like, first of all, you don't even know any of it. Nothing has been released. It was truly like some rumor,
dude. Yeah, it's like all of a sudden you care about blood work.
Yeah.
Also, be like, oh, what number is it? What number is the right number of T for a woman? Like, you don't fucking know.
It's just so fucked to have their whole argument for like 10 years and then be like, it's not fair. She should transition into a man and compete with a man. Is that
what you want?
You want? Yeah. Then sure, let's open that up.
Okay, now do you want? It's like, okay, so do you want more trans people, or do you want what's your argument? And they're like, oh no, whatever the thing that fits, whatever what I'm upset about. Yeah.
Dutch rapist. I don't care about that.
That's not my problem.
No. He's playing
An
volleyball.
ugly woman won a
He's
boxing
playing
match.
volleyball. That's a lady sport. I don't care about them. But
it's so funny to lose to a woman that has a knockout percentage that's 9.
Yeah.
Like it's a single-digit knockout ratio, and you're like, I've never been hit that hard.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
But she got $50,000 from the IBA, from the corrupt boxing organization that did the.
The Italian woman did?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they made this fucking bullshit thing. Because that's the story, right? She won a fight against a Russian boxer in an IBA fight. The IBA is run by the Russian mob, so they DQ'd her after the fight, saying she failed a gender test. They didn't share the test results with anyone, including her, or tell her what the test was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they DQ'd her so they could give the win to the Russian that she beat. And that's why everyone is saying, oh, she failed a gender test. But that organization, the IBA, has been like decertified by every other boxing org and the IOC for being run by the Russian mob.
Russian mob.
Yeah.
I also like the idea of a gender test being like, hey, pink or blue? Which one do you like? And she's like, I guess blue. And they're like, trans.
sorry.
Sorry, you're trans now.
We just got,
For those that are not in the know, the Russian mob is bad.
yeah. In case you were wondering. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I know our listeners.
They're one of the least virtuous mobs.
As mobs go.
Yeah.
Did you watch any Olympic judo?
I've been watching a bunch.
Dude, the team at that moment where it was like Teddy Riner was picked
Unbelievable.
for the 90
What a great dramatic.
Dude,
so for the team judo, there's a big screen on top.
Yeah.
And it rolls the weight. So and the team, it's one person from each weight category, and the thing is literally rolling
like a Price is Right wheel.
in a gambling thing.
Yeah.
And it's rolling. And Teddy
I
Riner.
didn't see any of that.
Yeah,
That's
Teddy
awesome.
Riner already won the gold medal for singles. He's unbelievable. He's a legend.
So he's not married.
He's not married. Very handsome. He looks like the guy who's the black superhero, Luke
Cage. Yeah.
Luke Cage. He looks like that guy.
Oh,
really big,
yeah.
handsome guy. And the wheel's spinning, and it's like you can hear the audience freaking out, and it stops at 90 kg, and everyone's like,
It's like a like WWE. Like the crowd loses their fucking mind. It's amazing.
I do think it's like. So I like the Olympics. I like the austerity of the Olympics, but I do think that
Australia.
Yes, I like how after you win a gold medal, you have to drink a beer from a shoe. I think it's awesome, but I do think that it's like if you want to, because it's like no one watches the Olympics. Like people younger than us do not watch the Olympics. Really, I don't think. I think it's less important than ever in that way.
It's because there's so much capping.
Dude, yeah. It's because there's nobody is playing Subway Surfers underneath the Olympic Games. But it's like if you want to, is this a new thing? The wheel.
I don't
with
know
the team
100%. I've never seen it before, but I don't watch that much.
Because I'm like, okay, they're making it exciting for younger people. It's like, oh, skateboarding's there too now, and breakdancing for some reason, which is really interesting to me to like be like. I guess it's a sport, but it is like a thing. It's like, okay, you do have to make it a little bit
where you
exciting.
Take off your warm up and you're wearing a warm up under it.
Yeah. You're like, all right, I put on my competition Kangol. But yeah, it is like a thing where it's like, oh, that is like an exciting thing to be like, oh, that's fun. Like that's a new thing to get like, oh, people are excited about
absolutely.
it. Yeah. I mean, people that go to the Olympics are really excited. Like people are freaking out there, but it is fun. Like. For younger people, because I do think it is. I don't know why I think it's important. Maybe I've just been indoctrinated with nationalism. I guess
it's one of the coolest things we do as the world.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, come over. Come on, we're gonna do it. Everybody, come over. We're gonna do the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
It's also the only time you watch. Like yesterday, I watched the ping pong the table tennis final. You know?
Yeah.
And these guys, they're just so fucking amazing at this one thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it for 4 more years.
No, absolutely.
But then I will, and I'll be like, this is the fucking greatest thing.
Yeah, dude. I can't tell you how many times in between the Olympics I watch European handball. But when it's on, I'm like,
this rules. Yeah.
I met a guy in Toronto. I have like a it's in my room.
Oh, the 6.
What's up? Yes, I met a guy in Toronto. His name's Drake or something. I don't know. But I have this like Barcelona 1992 Olympics like tote bag that I like Olympic merch a lot too. And I have that. And he goes, "Oh shit, my dad was the player coach for the Icelandic handball team in that Olympics." And I was like, tell me everything. And he goes, that's about the whole story. But I was like, okay, that's funny. But I was like, oh, that is really awesome. That it's like, oh yeah, that's how like kind of small those sports are. Where you're my dad was the player coach. I didn't realize they had 3-on-3 basketball.
Yeah,
in the Olympics.
that's like only from the past like 4 or 8 years.
Oh, they're doing and one.
They're literally doing and one, except for the American team is 3 white guys and 1 black guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jimmer Fredette, the whitest basketball player that's ever existed, who went to BYU, is on the American 3-on-3 basketball team.
That's really funny, but I won a gold medal in basketball, 3-on-3.
Yeah, 3-on-3 half court.
It's half court. That's so
it's
sick.
It's half court, 3-on-3.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I also love the term player coach, by the way.
Yeah,
it's such a sick term. Yeah. I will be using it for something.
Yeah, because because it's the thing. Like the American,
I'm calling dibs.
Yeah, the American team has a player coach also.
Oh,
like the one black guy who's on the team is the coach, and because there's only 4 people.
I'm putting myself in.
Yeah, there's only 4 people on the team.
Really?
Yeah, because they're subbing
one sub. Yeah,
they have 1 sub in and out. Because they played at 21. It's like literally like they're playing
amazing.
in middle
playground.
school.
Yeah, it's playground basketball.
You're not allowed to wear a team uniform. Like that's how playground
literally they're
is.
checking. They're doing checking
awesome.
in the Olympics.
That's fucking fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
There you go, brother. Check it to the guy who's gonna beat you for the gold medal.
One person on the team has to be on their phone the whole time. One guy has to be smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, when you're not playing, you're in control of the Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you start playing your song, and it's like really blown out sounding and shitty.
So fucking crazy.
But yeah, it is. I do have a little. I don't want to say I have Olympic fever.
Even like national, like America, like we put so much money into it. It's also cool when some fucking guy who's like a mailman in Romania gets a silver in shot put and is suddenly like a hero in the country.
There was I think it was in St. Lucia. There was like a woman who like won like one of the track and field events. And there was a photo, like the Olympics are not done, and there's already like in the airport there. It's like home of world champion.
Wow.
Yeah, it's already up.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck. Yeah, because it's like, I like what, this is a thing I hadn't seen until this Olympics.
Woman having an orgasm?
Yeah, no.
Got his ass, dude.
God, I was waiting. All right,
well, no, first of all, they don't let you do that on those cardboard beds, okay?
No, honey, it was the bed, not me.
But it was like, they always have the country. It's like, who has which country has the most medals? But then I saw a pretty cool infographic that was, which country has the most medals per capita?
Yeah.
So it's like, or like it's like, one in, so it's like, New Zealand has however many 6 million people, but they already have this many medals. So it's like, there's a gold medal for every 20,000 people in New Zealand and stuff like that. I'm like, that's like a really interesting like way to break it down, because there are some like countries where you're like, I guess it's like, I see everything through like an American like viewpoint, so I'm like,
the scope of a sniper rifle.
Yeah, I see everything through night vision goggles. But it's like, we're in almost every event. Like America is in almost every event, other than like European handball and stuff.
That's a good point. Yeah,
and then you're like, like we were watching the opening ceremony, and I'm like, it was like, it's like obviously it's like Palestine has like one athlete in like male boxing, like that's it. And you're like, like, we have such an economic machine behind being number one, that it's like, of course we're going to be in every single event, because we need to be represented at all times to us.
And our college system also feeds into that, right? You can literally get your college paid for if you can throw a javelin.
Yeah.
So fun.
Dude, that I wanted to be a shot put guy, because I was like a fat boy. So I was like, what event can a fat boy
be a
do?
catcher or
dude, yeah. If I'm a catcher, I could play the tuba. Dude, in 6th grade, I played the trumpet poorly, and my band teacher was like, "Do you ever think about playing the tuba?" And I was like, "Why?" And she was like, not everyone can carry the tuba. And I was like,
and you're like, emotionally?
Yeah. Are you saying because I have big, strong, broad shoulders?
Not
and
so
she
much.
Was like, she's like, no, you're the boy who's most shaped like the tuba here.
It is the fattest sounding instrument.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's beautiful.
Like, you can't be a little fat boy and then play the tuba, because then everyone's gonna do the tuba walk sound behind you.
Tuba's rough, yeah. And also, if you're in like the marching band, that people throw the beads in the tuba.
Into the tuba,
It's tuba's rough all around.
Yeah,
you know.
No.
It's really a bullying instrument.
Yeah, fully.
Fucking assholes. All right, whatever. Robby, thanks for coming to do the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You're the
This
man.
is great.
Please follow Robby. Where can people follow you? Where come see you live? Bother your child?
I don't know when this comes out. I'm at the Comedy Cellar in Vegas all next week at the Rio Hotel.
This will be at this Thursday.
Okay, great. Yeah, so then from August 12th to 18th, I'm there.
Clancy, go see him.
Then I'll be back in New York City. I don't really have much road stuff beyond that coming up, so I'll be around here.
He's very funny. Great follow on Twitter. Very, very funny. He's a great guy. One of the funniest. I hate him. He's so funny. I actually get mad at him sometimes.
Yeah, angry.
He doesn't know this.
There is a thing in this house where I go like, "Hey, did you see Robbie's tweet?"
Yeah, literally.
Like, yeah, I already saw it.
It's funny because Mac was like, "Who's gonna be your guest?" And I'm like, "Robbie," and he goes, "I think I retweeted him last night." And I'm like, that's hilarious. Follow Mike Abruzzi at Mike Abruzzi.
Follow Diego Lopez at this Diego Lopez.
Patreon.com/AlittleTimePod for 4 bonus episodes a month, plus video of all 8 episodes a week before everyone else. And I'll say this right now: if we get to 350 Patreon members, Mike and I will get matching tattoos.
Yeah, sure. Another one.
Yep.
Yeah. Where am I going to be? Rooster Teeth Feathers in Sunnyvale, California at the end of August, and then the Big Laugh Comedy Club in Fort Worth.
I'm going to be in Florida September 4th through the 9th, seeing my family. Don't bother me.
Yeah. I'm going to go too. But
I'm going
to stay 1 block away.
I got tickets for $140.
And just keep bumping into
I'm talking
them.
about it. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.